So you're thinking about buying a new construction home here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but you're not really sure what the process looks like, more specifically after you get the home under contract, what are the next steps, and how do you get to closing? Well, today I'm going to talk a little bit about that, specifically some of the walkthroughs that happen towards the end of completion, and we're going to get into that right now. Hey, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Nick, and on this channel I talk about things to do here in Myrtle Beach. I give tips and advice about the area, and of course I talk about the real estate. So if you are thinking about relocating to the area, then be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and tap the little notification bell while you're at it. This way you can be the first to know about what's going on here in Myrtle Beach. I get calls every single day from people just like you who are moving to the area, so if you ever have any questions, or if I can help you find home here at the beach, then I would love to chat with you. You can always use the first link down in the description to schedule a call with me. So when buying a new home, the process looks a little bit different than when you're buying an existing home from a reseller who already owns the home. When you're buying a resale, you are busy during that escrow period, meeting deadlines for due diligence, your inspection periods, renegotiating with the seller, and getting towards closing. With new construction, it might be a little bit quieter once you get under contract, especially if you're building from scratch while the builder gets things going, gets the permits going, and starts the home. And if you're building completely from scratch, that's going to look a little bit different than if you're buying a spec home that's already under construction. But we're going to assume that we're picking up once the home has started. So whether it's a spec home or whether you're building from scratch and picking your own finishes, that whole process is already done. The home is started. Now what happens next? So from this stage forward, you should be getting updates from your construction manager or from both of us, and you should be getting photos and things like that. A lot of people ask me if they should be getting any inspections during this time, and the answer is yes, if that is something that you're concerned about. One of the big inspections that a lot of people like to get done with new construction is a pre-drywall inspection. So this is going to be after the framing goes up, after the plumbing and electrical in, but before the sheetrock goes up. This is going to be the last chance that an inspector is able to get in and inspect the insides of the walls before the walls go up. So if you'd like a pre-drywall inspection, this needs to be scheduled after all of the plumbing and electrical rough-ins go in and before the sheetrock goes up. Now, if you're buying a spec home, a lot of these homes do not come for sale until the electrical and the plumbing is already in. So there's going to be a really short time frame from when you go under contract to when the sheetrock goes up for you to get that inspection. So it's just something to keep in mind. The next time you'll have an opportunity to get an inspection is when the home is nearing completion. I like to get this done before the blue tape walkthrough, which we'll talk a little bit more about here in a second. This is going to be an opportunity for the inspector to come in once the home is complete or nearly complete to point out some more of the cosmetic issues, to check some of the items such as the HVAC, the hot water heater, to make sure all of the plumbing and fixtures are running properly, appliances, because they should be in at this point, to catch all of that minor stuff that the builder can take care of before getting to closing. Now, I just mentioned a blue tape walkthrough and that I like the inspection to be done before that. This way we can get to the blue tape walk with the inspection report in hand and go over that with the builder and get it added to those punch list items. Now, what the blue tape walkthrough is this is your opportunity to go to the home and point out any cosmetic things that you might see throughout the home to get taken care of before getting to closing. One of the biggest things is going to be any blemishes, nicks, dents, scuffs in the paint and the drywall that needs to be repaired. the home gets painted and then there's still trades coming into the home to complete the home. They might bump into the wall, they might get it dirty. So that's going to be the biggest item on this blue tape walk. And it's called a blue tape walk because you get a roll of blue tape, you go around with the builder, or again, the construction manager. They use those terms interchangeably, and you find all of these items that need to be touched up. You mark them with blue tape. This way they can come in between this walk and closing and get all that stuff buttoned up for you before closing. During this blue tape walk, you'll also walk through the entire home with the builder and you'll go over everything in the home. You'll learn about the water heater, whether it is a tankless or a tanked system. They'll show you how to use all the different appliances. They'll show you where all of the emergency shutoffs are for the water, the electrical panel. They'll show you how everything in the house works. This way, when you get here, you can feel comfortable. I actually think it is just as important, if not a little bit more important, to be at the house for this walkthrough than it is to actually be there for the closing. Because again, this is going to be your opportunity to go over everything and get some items on the punch list to be taken care of before getting to closing. And again, learning how everything in the house works. A lot of times you're able to close on the home remotely, whether that's via mail away or via DocuSign if it is a cash closing. You don't actually have to be here for that. The blue tape walk typically lasts anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours, depending on how many questions you have or how in depth you'd like to get with things and how things work in the house. And again, this is going to be your final opportunity to go over anything in the house before closing. Now, when do these items get checked? Well, the builder is going to send you updates on this stuff as they're getting done. Typically, this is about 7 to 14 days before closing. So there's about a week to 2 weeks to get all this stuff done. And as the trades are coming in, completing the items on the punch list, you'll get updates from the builder. And then of course, they get checked right before closing as well at the final walkthrough, whether you're here or I need to do that for you. We go over all the items, we walk through the house again with the builder, and he shows everything that was done. Any outstanding items that were on the list, you'll sign off that they still need to get completed after closing. Builders don't like this to happen. They'd rather get everything done before, but sometimes, for example, if there's like a mirror or a glass door that's scratched and they need to order that and it hasn't come in yet, that's something that's going to have to wait till after closing for it to get done. You'll also have the opportunity to pay the inspector to come back out to check any of the items that they had on the inspection report. This might be important if there's items on that list that you or I might not necessarily be able to check ourselves to make sure they were completed. Maybe if there was something wrong with the roof or if there was any mechanical issues that they mentioned, you might want to have them come back out and check those items as well the day of closing. From the closing, you'll typically go straight to the closing attorney's office for closing to sign your documents and get your keys. If you're here, if you're not, I will make sure everything looks good for you and I will give you the okay to sign your documents remotely. From there, once the documents are signed and the closing attorney receives the wired funds, you'll get your keys, you'll take those back to the house and meet the builder one last time, and they will transfer the locks to your new key and the house is officially yours. Now, after you're living in the house for a little while, you might notice some things that you did not initially notice during either of the walkthroughs, and that's okay because it can be a bit overwhelming and there's a lot going on those 2 days. Most builders are also going to give you a 12-month cosmetic warranty where once you're at a year of living in the home, they'll come back and fix like nail pops or anything that you noticed throughout the home as you were living it a little while. They're not going to come and fix things that you caused while you were living in the home, so just something to keep in mind. You might want to ask the builder while you're at the final walkthrough what items are covered for that year and what items are not. Also, this is a good time to mention that you'll also have a 2-year mechanical warranty on a new home. So for things like the HVAC and water heater, and then you'll have a 10-year structural warranty. So hopefully this helps give you a better idea of what to expect when you're buying a new home, what inspections to expect, and how the process should go once you get under contract. If this video helped you in any way, I'd appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button down below. And again, if you are thinking about moving to the area, I would love to chat with you, and I'd love to be the one to help you out. You can always use the first link down in the description to schedule a call with me. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.